Welcome, artists and art fans. Thank you guys for tuning into the only spot where we get to speak with your favorite artists and talk about trade tools and tips. Today, we got an awesome returning guest, all the way from East Texas, illustrator. Definitely going to talk to him a little bit more about Sheriff Sanders. And I like to welcome back returning guest all the way from episode number 20, in case you missed it. We got my boy, Draughon, the one, the only. And let's go ahead and beam him into the mothership here. Hey! Jason, what's going on, brother?
What's up? Sounds like you're listening to a little Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack.
Yeah. If you guys missed it from last, it's a little teaser from last episode.
Okay. So how you doing, Sam?
Good. For all you guys, thank you guys for tuning into the show. Returning guest, Jay Strawn, episode number 41.
Hey, everybody. 41 here.
What's up, Jace? How you been, bro?
I've been doing good, man. Been doing good. Been trying to turn out some art and having some fun. Being all social restricted and everything.
No, for sure,
So
dude.
how you doing? How's the wife? How's the kids?
Wife and kids, they're out. They're out and about, having fun at in the outdoors.
Don't blame them. It's nice outside.
Stuck in the studio here. No, I mean, if you guys joined me for episode number 40, it was actually on the other foot. I was the one being the guest. So I said that I don't live with my wife and my kids. We're not really married, but we are together, but we don't live together. It's fucking complicated, bro.
I understand.
Yeah. So, but Sundays is usually my day here in the cave. So there we go. That's it.
Well, I got my hands on an iPad. Those are pretty freaking fun, man.
Oh, dude, and we're totally gonna get into that, man. I mean, is that where you want to start? Let's start there.
Well, it's kind of funny. You posted that Godzilla, kind of doing the advertisement for it using that Godzilla. That's actually outdated now.
Is it?
Yeah, just a little bit, because, with an iPad, I can pretty much do anything I want. Like, that's actually a pencil drawing that I did that it was just so much chaos you couldn't actually see anything. You couldn't tell any details or anything like that, because there's cars in it and everything else, but the colors mesh so bad, and, I have this complication with seeing colors real well, so it got very chaotic. But took a picture of it with the iPad and then took it from there and just cleaned it up. You can kind of see where it's going with that one post you did, but it's made him a little bit bigger.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I love the iPad, man. It takes your talent to like 10 times the level. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it real good? Godzilla is a little bit different now. And I mean, it's just amazing how much you can play with this thing. I mean, the detail you can go into and get in there. But yeah, like there's little bitty cars. I'm having to clean up some of that little mess right there. You see that little, it's going to be a little taxi. It's got to be the big city, so yeah, I dig the iPad. I'm lucky that I have an opportunity to play with it. So,
Sweet.
Yeah, but yeah, it's the problem with it is I have so much that I'm working on it. I can't make up my mind what I want to do more. I get on one of them and I just keep on going, kind of like that Pennywise. Even though I posted it, I'm still not happy with it, and I can continue on with it, and I plan on actually doing that. But you get on one of them, and if you're aggravated, like I've done the Falcor one, but I get aggravated with it because I'm trying to put a Treyu on top of it, and it's just not working. Mm-hmm. So I keep having to readjust that one. And then Falcor.
And that's the beautiful thing about digital art, man. You know, it's once again, you know, that was one of the questions they asked me last hour, episode 40, and I definitely, you know, I'm up for every artist going the digital route. I wouldn't say really transition fully into it, but definitely dabble in it, and you'll be surprised, you know.
Oh yeah, I can't stop from doing the hand stuff. I don't know if you can see that Pennywise. Can you see that Pennywise right there?
I always see it.
Yeah, see, when it comes to doing the hand stuff, I take my time because if I mess up on something like that, I have to start over, and I don't want to start over. But that's pretty much the only one I'm doing right now that's like using my hands only. Everything else right now is on the iPad. So even Shane's book cover went onto the iPad because, well, I could only take it so far, and then, you know, the iPad, it juices me up, man. I'm Charles Xavier on Cerebro, you know?
Fuck yeah, dude. Great reference.
But yeah, so you've seen the cover of the first book, which is basically just plain old Rooster, okay?
Now explain to newer viewers what we're looking at here, as far as Sheriff Sanders, for those that don't know.
Well, I have a buddy named Shane Bradley. He's an author. He's the creator of Sheriff Sanders and his adventures. He's got his third book coming out next week. It's on Kindle now. You can get it on Kindle, I believe, right now. And the book itself comes out next week. This is his third book. He's already discussed the plans for the fourth book, and I have not started on it yet. It's kind of a complicated one, but it's only complicated because I have to ease up some of my dark tendencies. So. He's got two books. I know one of them's a horror book that he asked me to do something for, and the other one is the continuation of the Sheriff Sanders. But yeah, I've done all three of his covers so far, and I'm soon to be working on his fourth.
Sweet.
So yeah, so it's a fun kind of thing to do. It really challenges you what you can think of. Anyway. But yeah, so I got book 1 and book 2, okay? I got them fully framed. I had to. I mean, this was just awesome. And as soon as I can, I'm going to get book 3, and I'm going to frame it. Now, having said that, that book 3, it went on the iPad. So the original, which is basically just the duck on the water and everything, I got to frame this one too, because I actually have a tendency to frame the pictures and the books next to each other.
Nice.
It's kind of cool, and I'm probably going to have to give them to Shane at one point, but I think he needs to sell 3,000, maybe 5,000 copies of his book, and then I'll think about giving it to him by then.
Nice.
But no, it's interesting. It's a great story. It reminds me a lot of Andy Griffith, you know, the good wholesome TV show and everything, and it's just really good. I mean, I read the last book, and he had me in suspense. I actually, well, I don't want to give anything away if anybody wants to read it, but he actually scared me that he was doing away with the character, and it was wrong. So I was happy about that. And actually, that shows how good of a writer he is when I have feelings towards these characters. And I can't wait till he actually emphasizes, all right, we need to design the other characters, because I can't wait to do that.
Yeah.
And you know, get a picture book going, because I actually think the whole, you know, the comic book, the graphic novel, that seems to do better than just, you know, a cover. and I'd actually kind of dig to do something like that. But we shall see in the future. Hopefully his book sales go up and we're able to do something like that, because I think that'd actually be kind of cool.
Yeah, I've actually started linking up. I don't know if for people who've noticed, but I started doing like little links in the YouTube. So every time I post something on YouTube, I add all your links there. And
Okay.
well, we'll go ahead and we'll add Shane Bradley here. So I'll find him on Amazon and add that link in there.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. That boy, he's a new father too. He just had a baby,
Oh man,
little
congrats
Benjamin.
Congrats,
But
little Benjamin.
so how is it up there up north, man? I know how it is down here.
Over here it's a little crazy here and there, you know. Still no sanitizer or Lysol to be found.
Yeah.
You're lucky if you find it. Whatever comes in goes out right that instant. Toilet paper is up for sale. Um, People, you know, you got your. I mean, depending on where you see it, you know, you might have your lucky few or your idiots who don't want to stick to some of the rules, but you know.
Yeah, I'm always griping at people that I see on the highway while I'm at work. I'm like, what are y'all doing? You know, you should already be there. Go home. Go to work.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, when we go out, I know I live in Cicero, Illinois, and they mandated that if you're going to be out and about, you better have a mask or else you're going to get fined. And you know, I hate government. I hate authority. Um, but at the same time, it's better to be safe than sorry at the end of the day.
Yeah, it is. This day and age, you don't actually know. I mean, you have a general idea of what's real, but there is a lot of fake information out there.
For sure.
So it's best just to, you know, have your ears open to hear all the information, but take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, and pretty much the last thing I'll say about that is, you know, do your own research. You know, because this, at the end of the day, it's one of two things. It's either man-made, or it's if you're a believer in Christ, then it's some sort of plague from above. So
Anything is possible at this point.
that being said, so just a little touch up from last show for anybody else who missed it. You know, you were on episode number 20.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty dope. It was I think January, something like that. The 2020 something.
I believe so. It doesn't seem that long ago.
No, it doesn't.
And then, you know, at that time, I was almost done to the point where I couldn't do any further on Shane's design. And then, you know, it seemed like a month and a half later, here we are again, you know. Yeah, and it actually feels like it's been a long time with everything that's happened.
It does, right?
Not much has changed other than I have access to an iPad. I dig markers. You know, I used to just be all pencils and everything, but I dig the markers, and I've gotten a heck of a lot more of those markers. Different brands, what have you, but I don't know. Since I got the iPad, it's kind of tough for me to do the hand stuff. It's a lot easier. You know, you just, the sky's the limit with those things. I love those things.
Yeah, and, I agree.
I mean, it's just, you can literally change everything, and it is always going to be considered cheating when it comes to artwork to me. It's just too easy. I haven't touched the Pennywise because, well, frankly, if I mess up on the reflections of the balloon, that's something I have to deal with. With the iPad, I can just hit the back button, you know?
Yeah.
And heck, they even have options where if you're doing water, you can actually, it's an option of the paintbrush to use to do the water. And you really don't have to know anything after you use it. I mean, it just looks like water. And that kind of takes some of the fun out of it, because usually, my go-to with doing interesting stuff is always doing water and doing the ripples and all that stuff, and try my best to make it as real as possible. And then you get on an iPad and it's just, flip of the switch and that's it.
Yeah.
But doing it with hand paints and markers and everything, you've got to. You have to try different things, and with the iPad, it's just point and click. So I recommend having fun with one, but other than that, keep up the handwork. Keep those options open, because there's something satisfying about having something actually there instead of just on an iPad.
Yeah. If we get a little EMP, then that iPad goes out the window.
Exactly. Well, I have all this artwork. Where is it? It doesn't exist anymore.
It's gone. It's gone to the sands of time, people. So what's your number one takeaway from digital art? What's something that maybe a tip you could offer artists?
A tip. When it comes to digital art, the tip I can use is, and it might take you 24 hours, but eventually you'll get something you like. I know some of the ones that I've worked on for 12 hours. It actually, with the replays and everything, it tells you how much time you've accumulated on it. And it's amazing to me. It's not even my iPad, but yet I'm spending so many hours on it that it's amazing. But the only thing I can give you a takeaway from it is eventually you'll get what you want, visually or mentally. And that's actually, it takes a lot of the stress out of the hand paintings and stuff like that when you use the iPad. I mean, there's really no stress. Well, let's try this. Okay, if we don't like it, we can just erase it, or just go back to where it was. So,
yeah, definitely the ability for trial and error. Yeah, that's a huge plus, man.
Yeah. So how are things going there? How's the YouTube channel doing? Good.
The YouTube, it's slowly climbing.
That's good.
Yeah. It's not as fast as I would like, but I mean, all within due time, right?
It's word of mouth. I try my best to give you props as much as I can. The other day I posted one of those big grid photos where it's on my timeline. It's nothing but Venom and Jason.
Oh yeah,
all the way down. That's the big one. Okay, I've ran across a thing where I've looked at how many profile visits I got because of that, and it actually added up a hell of a lot more.
Oh wow!
Than say a like does. A like you might get one profile visit, but I did that, and I had damn near 100 more views on my profile just because I did that. So if views are what y'all want, an artist wants, that's the best way to do it, because you actually don't have to. You don't have to do anything. You just post one of those big collages like that, and people want to see what it is. Because, one picture, you're just going to see a tooth or something like that. You have to go into the actual page to view all of it.
Yeah.
And I think that help getting you some views actually gets you a little bit more, for lack of a better word, attention. A little bit more of advertisement of yourself. So, those grids, they're annoying when somebody posts one and everything. You see the one picture, but you're only going to get to see it if you go to their page. So that's kind of something I've taken away from Instagram over the grid things. I brought it up because you posted the White Ranger the other day on the throne.
Oh yeah.
And I had just posted all those Venom and Jason pictures. So when I came back to my page, there was a ton of likes. Okay. So when I opened up the Instagram, your picture popped up. Okay, And I want you to know, when I saw that heart with 100, I screenshotted it, okay? Because your White Ranger just looks like he's sitting back there, like chilling, like, you know, drop the mic moment, okay? But he also has 100 likes right here, right by him. So it's pretty awesome. I kept that. I'll have to send that to you. But yeah, it's been a cool couple of weeks, man. It's you can't really do anything but artwork. So
Yeah, how do you pass the time, man?
If you know you're not on the phone looking through pictures and the internet and reading about COVID-19, I'm on the iPad. If I can't use the iPad at that moment, I'll be working on the hand painted ones. It's literally sleep, eat, draw, and go to work the next go. Not in all that order, but close enough. But that's pretty much how
Are you able to work from home, or do you gotta go in there, man?
I'm a part of the essential workforce where I have to go and be there. I don't like it, but I can't complain if I have a job. I'm actually happy about that right now. Yeah. So no, I have to drive. I have to drive in every day, and that when I go to lunch, that's when I see all the cars on the highway, and I'm like, why are y'all out and about? This is so not fair.
Yeah. No, I'm on the same boat. It's like, man, I see so many artists, and they're all like, "Hey, we're out of work. It's sort of little vacation time, and it's like, they're drawing nonstop, 24/7. I'm like, fuck, I wish I could do that too.
Oh yeah, I'm so jealous of some of the people that get to draw right now. I'm like, oh.
No, we're essential, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, essential. I never would have thought I was essential.
Right.
But we're selling. We sell face masks, metal N95 face masks and stuff like that. So that labels us as essential. And yeah, I don't know all the details of that. I stay away from it.
Yeah. No, man, but dude, I feel you, man. I'm on the same boat. It's like, fuck. It's like I gotta go to work, then I gotta come back and see if I could find time to draw and shit. Mm-hmm. It's like I got so many ideas, just not enough time.
Oh yeah, I'm constantly trying to think of stuff I want to draw, but once I sit down on them, it seems like it takes forever to get what I actually want, from up here, and it's. I miss the good old days, man, where you can let loose and go to the movies every once in a while, and it's hard to say those were the good old days, less than a month away, or less than 2 months ago. It was the good old days.
Yep. What got pushed back a little bit? Morbius, I think Wonder Woman.
Yeah, we'd already be talking about Black Widow, wouldn't we?
Almost, I think, if not just about.
I keep touching my face. Yeah, it's hard because you look at the news, and I like to read a lot, and when I'm looking at the news, it's mostly the COVID or coronavirus, and I look at my Dallas Mavericks and everything, and look at the rumor mills, and that's all they're writing. Basketball is right now is a bunch of rumors. But I dig that stuff, and right now I can only get the COVID-19 stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's kind of, you take for granted everything you got to do with the movies and going out to eat. I'm missing Tex-Mex like crazy, and I don't want to just go to Taco Bell.
There you go.
But, yeah. Yeah, we'll be talking about movies. Talk about the latest ones. I still haven't fully seen all that Harley Quinn movie.
You're not missing anything.
Yeah, it wasn't that exciting. Yeah, and
Better than Suicide Squad, but mm, you know.
you didn't like Suicide Squad? What? Thinking back over it, I can complain about it. But when it came out, I was happy. It was like it was going to open up so many doors, and then all of a sudden, none of those doors opened. Because we never got Snyder's Justice League. We never got the full what was supposed to happen. It all changed.
I was on the same boat, man.
Yeah. So anyway, what you got going on? What you working on?
At the moment, nothing. I just got done doing my Ninja Turtle piece that I had in mind since like the beginning of the year. So that finally came to fruition. I was working on it here and there live,
That's great. That's real good. It's real nice. Yeah. I'm making sure that Trent sees con artist, I should say. Con artist. I'm making sure he sees that Darth Vader back there in the background. You see that Darth Vader?
Oh, yeah. That's dope.
Right there? Yeah, that's the one he wants. I'm just making sure he sees it. Con artist. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean trade, though.
Yeah. Yes, a trade. I'm supposed to get some... a jellyfish they sent me to color on the iPad, but I haven't done it yet because I've been too busy with others. But that's Trent's. Remember what our conversation was? Commissions that fall through. Well, I have a lot of. I'll give you this one. You got to give me yours. Kind of a trade. That's Trent's. Is that Darth Vader?
Sweet.
Yeah, I ought to make him go for the. I ought to make him trade the hummingbird lily. I still haven't even finished the part I was. Okay, the deal was me and Trent would coincide with releasing both of our images, okay? I just kept going with mine, different, more and more, different animals, different pictures, and it's actually a very big piece when you have it all together. But the very last one, it's just a simple little lizard, and it has debacled me so much that I actually walked away from the whole thing because I just got irritated with it. And I can't put it on the iPad. I can't put it on the iPad like I want to do because it's hand done. And especially with the others being hand done, I need to finish it, but I still haven't done it because it is just the angle I have on there it works, but it doesn't work.
Okay.
And it's real confusing, and it kind of messes up the whole feng shui of the piece. And anyway, they were supposed to coincide, and I don't know where I got off on track on this, but that's what I want to. I'd like to prefer to trade both of those. The lily pad for mine, I think, would be better. But anyway, I'm just rambling on. That's what I do.
It's all good, man. So let's talk about doing commissions and stuff. I know you weren't a big fan of them. You did them here and there. Has digital art somehow persuaded you differently now, or?
I think digital art, yes, has to the point that I'd be more willing to do it. It's easier to try to read somebody's mind with that because, well, as I said, you always try different things, and you can erase it if you have to.
Mm-hmm.
So digital art would actually be fun. I mean, cutting and pasting and all that kind of stuff. And I think it'd be fun, but I also think I couldn't charge them as much as I charge for like hand paintings and everything. Like to me, this is the supplies. It's like, if you do a hand painting, everything, you have to replenish the supplies you use and everything like that. When it comes to the digital stuff, I mean, what are you replacing? Just the charging it? That battery charger? That's it.
I mean, when it comes to art itself, they're buying the art. They're buying the creation.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I would love. I would love to sell the stuff, but a lot of times I just don't. I don't know. I just don't go in for it. I would love to be able to sell. I did the math And in order for me to be able to quit my job, I'd have to sell like 8 paintings per 2 weeks to make up the salary that I would lose at my job.
Mm-hmm.
That's a. I'd like to do it, but man, that is a gamble.
It's definitely a gamble, man. And if that's where you want to go, I think ultimately you're gonna have to start somewhere,
Yeah.
and just jump, man. There's Steve Harvey says it all the time. If you want to go on to and go to the next level, you got to be able to go ahead and just fucking jump off the cliff. There's no second guessing. You just jump, man. You jump and let's hope your wings spread and you take off. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Okay.
So I would recommend, and as if when pricing comes in, start somewhere, price it whatever it is that you feel it. And if people bite and if they keep biting, then definitely raise the prices slowly. If people are not biting, then lower the prices slowly. Don't be like, oh, $50. Oh shit, ain't shit selling. $10. Be like, hey, $40.
Well, when I do them on the iPad, I make them as big as I can. So if I ever do print them, they're pretty big if I print them.
Yeah.
I'd like to do that. Just sell for the iPad is just selling prints. With the actual artwork, I would, it's tough to get rid of your babies,
I hear that.
Tears into these things, it'd be tough to get rid of them. But with the digital stuff, I can see those going pretty quick.
Yeah.
Especially, I'm still learning the stuff, so I'm only doing 1 layer when I know I can do, at least 10 layers and stuff like that. And it's fun, man. I look forward to continuing it, especially seeing what I could create with it. So, anyway.
Yeah, no, for the prints, man, I think, you keep saying that you might not offer, whatever it is, or you might not make that money back from like the painting, from the paints and materials. But at the end of the day, your materials are going to become something new, which in this case, it's going to be just ink and paper. And aside from paper, you also have to think about mailing, the shipping cost.
Yeah.
And are you going to use, how are you going to send your artwork? Are you going to enwrap it in something? You know what I mean?
I definitely think it'd have to be rolled up in one of those little tubes.
Yeah, I mean, if depending on how big it is, then yes. But I think you got to start somewhere, man, and you should definitely go ahead and pull the trigger on that. You know what I mean? Get one of your best pieces, get your most liked piece and do a limited run on them. Do 10 prints, see how that does,
It would be my Optimus Prime. My Optimus Prime is the one that has the most likes. I would take a picture of it with the iPad and clean it up a hell of a lot.
Do it.
But that Optimus Prime, you know how Instagram does the little sponsors, the sponsor. Yeah. I did that with the Optimus Prime, and what I did was I sent it over to, Japan, Japan is where I wanted to make sure that it actually got a lot of view over there. I dig Japan, dude. I just love Japan.
Oh yeah, one of my spots.
And, it got the most likes. That's the one thing I noticed is that it got a lot of likes in Japan. So that's the only one that I know has over 2,000 likes.
Oh shit.
Yeah. There's that one, and I think that's the only one.
That Venom and Jason piece, bro, that shit is killer work, dude.
Hey, you like that one?
Yeah, I fucking love it, man. I'm a sucker for anything comic related.
I did that one, and the goal was to use Carnage in the next one. But you're doing symbiotes and stuff like that. I did the Pennywise, and if you look, I think I've said this once. There's enough red on Pennywise that it actually kind of looks like a little Carnage mixture in there. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't the goal. That wasn't the goal. The goal with the Pennywise was just a lot of blood. That I wanted a lot of blood. And originally that balloon was going to be an eyeball, but perspective-wise wasn't happening for it. And I actually made it an eye, but it just didn't work. Okay, it would have to be blurry for the visual comparison. Perspective. It just didn't work because of perspective. So I ended up having to turn it into a balloon, in which I'm happy with it because it actually says "time to float," and reflected off the wall. So I'm actually happy with that one. But I do want to do another comic book hero. I've gotten a request for the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. From the movie, the realistic looking rabbit. I might do that one again, and that might get tattooed on somebody. Got the request for Rick and Morty a long time ago that I just haven't worked on. I have to sit there and watch Rick and Morty, and I don't get me wrong, I love Rick and Morty, but I'm not sitting there, drawing at the same time I'm watching it, and I got another request for something. I can't remember what it was specifically, but it really surprised me of what the request was from the person. I think it was just something creepy, or I don't know. I got a knack for drawing creepy stuff.
Yeah, for the it piece and stuff, the reflection off the fucking balloon is amazing.
Oh, thank you. That was a gamble. I was the goal of that Pennywise. I took a picture of the one I did by hand. Yeah, all that blood.
Dude, that's sick, dude.
Oh, thank you.
The whole piece looks dope, but the little details like this stuff here, man, wow.
Yeah, I like drawing balloon. Well, I don't really like drawing balloons, but I like doing the shininess, the reflective on it. I like doing that for water, and I really want to do a Ghost Rider on the iPad. I just think the fire itself would be awesome on an iPad. Yeah, Venom and Jason. And I did a lot of freaking detail in Jason's eye. I don't know if you noticed that.
Now I did.
The only thing I started thinking about with Jason and everything like that, I don't like making him deformed. I just don't like making him deformed. He doesn't have to be deformed. It just makes him, I don't know, he's a guy that has a hockey mask on. You don't have to make him deformed too.
All right.
I mean, Freddy doesn't have a mask on, but yet he's deformed with all the burns. Technically, I don't think Michael Myers, he doesn't have deformity. He was a normal-looking kid. They just happened to make Jason, look like somebody got dropped when he was a kid like 10 or 15 times. So, yeah, I saw... I like making Jason look normal, because if you think about it, I said this on a post I did on Facebook. If you were to make Jason normal, how the first Friday the 13th, nobody knew who the killer was, and then it turns out it was his mom. Well, if you make Jason normal, you could have that result again. Nobody know who's the killer, there's a big guy, but there's a chance that it's not even Jason. You make him look normal and he can hide amongst people. And I actually think that would be a little bit more suspenseful on a Friday the 13th. Of course, when he, goes to kill him, he wears the mask, but still, you'd never know who he was, and that would bring it back to the roots of Friday the 13th. So yeah, I like drawing Jason a lot. He's fun to draw. The Predator, Alien. I got a request to draw a Joker on the iPad. I might do that.
Oh, that'd be dope.
The one thing I've noticed about the iPad is I have a tendency to make my stuff like a little cartoony and everything, but when you use the iPad, you start getting into the CGI, the realistic look that you see in Pixar movies and stuff like that.
Mm.
You get so close to doing that, especially when you're starting to shade, and it's a trip. It's kind of like seeing, what would your artwork look like if it was actually 3D. And that's what the iPad is able to do.
Now you being involved in this digital art, what kind of stylus are you using for this?
Oh, I got the eye pencil.
Oh,
2 eye pencil 2. I just got corrected. Here's the funny thing. Went to Best Buy. And I just wanted to play around with one of those that they had set up, and I just used my finger and I did a little Batman sketch. And they offered to hand me a pencil to see what I could do with it. And we ended up, I ended up buying it, okay? Because the goal was to be able to work on an iPad. Well, it was a little miscommunication, and we didn't have the right iPad. So this was like, had this for like 2 weeks before we actually got the iPad Pro, in which we could do it or use it. And once that happened, man, this thing, it's awesome, dude.
nice.
I mean, I'm still figuring out all the stuff on it, but it's just, I've been doing this with my hands for so many years when I could have been doing it so easily on an iPad.
Yeah, no, it's something that, like I said, I tell people, I'm like, hey, man, it's the 21st century. Everything just about went digital, back in like the early 2000s, and
Yeah,
it's like if you're an artist, especially if you're a traditional artist, you definitely, without a doubt, want to try some digital art sometime in your art career.
oh yeah.
So it's pretty badass that you jumped on it, man. Kind of surprised me myself. I was like, hey, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's just easier. You don't carry the big backpack with all your supplies around now. It's pretty much you just carry a little thing, and this is it. It's all you have to have because, you got the little pen holder and everything on it. So it's just nice and easy. And it's just, this is one I'm working on. If I can get this.
And you said you're using Procreate, right?
I'm Vader right now.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sloppy right now, but Vader's kind of one of those that I do him every once in a while, but he's so iconic that you have to get everything perfect on him. Mm-hmm. It's not something I can randomly use my imagination to, and let's give him horns or something like that. No, I can't do that to Vader. Vader is a staple in society. So I'll have fun with Batman. Don't get me wrong. I'll do weird things with Batman. Let's give Batman a beard, Let's make him different than he normally is. But with Vader, I tend to. It irritates me if I can't get something right, and I'll work on something for 2 hours trying to get it right, and if it doesn't get right, I'll walk away from it for a little while, and then come back to it. But yeah, the Vader is the one that I've added to the group to actually continue on, and just as long as you're continually drawing, you don't have idle hands. You can't get in trouble as long as you're drawing.
Yeah. So we talked about some of your future projects, man. What about your how about overcoming distractions? How do you do that? Or procrastination?
Okay.
That's something big in the art world.
If I procrastinate, it's because I'm watching a couple of channels on YouTube. It'd either be 10 things you didn't know about a certain movie, or everything wrong with a certain movie. I'm a big movie buff kind of guy, if I procrastinate, it's because I'm doing that. But also, having said that, when I watch these shows, I watch 10 Things You Didn't Know About the movie Critters, I'll want to draw one of the bounty hunters, one of the guys with the just glow faces and everything. If I watch, the making of Return to Oz, I'm going to want to draw a Wheeler. I love the Wheelers, If I procrastinate, it's always, in my mind, I'm always thinking of what I can draw. So it's never an issue of procrastinating. It's more of an issue of, okay, I know the iPad's over there. All I have to do is walk over there and pick it up. But sometimes I'm lazy and I don't feel like doing that. I'll just wait for people to walk by. But, yeah, I think I touched on the future with the iPad, and I enjoy it. And I can see that I can do a hell of a lot more with an iPad than I can with my just normal hands.
Have you ever thought about doing things you could do with the iPad Pro as far as art?
I've kind of there's a little nagging sensation in the back of my mind that it makes me want to animate. I want to do animation. For the longest time, I draw something and then that's pretty much it. I walk away from it and it's just sitting there. But if I was to animate, I'd have to draw it, several times and be able to animate something to it. So I'm kind of, Disney I heard that Disney's got started in his garage, and I kind of want to do something like that along those lines. Just make a little small film and, hope for the best. And if that doesn't work, well, then try it again. It's not like you ain't got plenty of time, it's pretty easy once you get some of the programs. So that's something I kind of want to try is animation. You see movies that Don Bluth did, and it's just the artwork in those movies, The Secret of NIMH and All Dogs Go to Heaven to, American Tail and everything like that. And you watch those Don Bluth movies, and he's got a style to his movies that I still see. You see water reflecting and everything, there's going to be that one little sparkle in the water. And it's just magical when he does it. And so if I was to ever really get into it, I'd want to go into the animation part. I think it not only are you drawing it to make it look real, but you want to make it move. And I kind of want to do that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, these are things that I wished I would have started on when I was 20, not, 40.
Yeah, man. They say that Colonel Sanders came up with his recipe when he was a lot later and a lot older than we are now.
Wasn't he in his 60s? I think I heard it was in his 60s.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, a lot of the greats, once they hit the age of 40, they start,
Yeah, that's when they blow up, man.
So I'm looking forward to that part.
There you go. Nah, you're cool, man. Definitely on your way, so don't just
thank you. It's one of those things like, I wished it does pay the bills, but it doesn't. I wish it would, but it's too big.
And it will, and it could, Jace.
Yeah.
Just make sure all you got to do, man, is have that leap of faith, dude, and start selling out not sell out, but sell your work. And dude, sky's the limit, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes, sir.
So I would definitely go ahead and do that for your next endeavor. There is definitely start doing prints, man, and start small. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't be like, 100 prints. Start off 5 or 10, see how that does, and then.
I think we did the measurements on that Venom and Jason, and I believe it's a complete. It's the size of a door.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you see how long it is on my timeline.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty damn big. But as soon as I get as soon as I figure out where I can go print that, which is probably, I don't know, Walmart or somewhere like that. I'm going to print out one and I'm going to put it on the door.
Holy shit.
So you think about it, that damn image as big as a freaking door. So I need to. The thing about having them on the iPad is I can always go back and work on them, because even that one, the teeth. Okay, I need to put a little bit more detail in Venom's teeth that are kind of coming over Venom or Jason. I got to do that, but the sheer size of being on a door, it just means people are going to be able to see the little minuscule little mistakes. So before I print something like
that's what you think, man. The mistakes, I mean, we'll see the mistakes, and we're always going to see the mistakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your worst enemy is yourself.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. That's a fact. You know, no matter how much you try to fix it, at the end of the day, it's like I've worked on, like, for example, I worked on a cool, that Power Ranger that I did the other day. I'll do that, and I'll get whatever 100 likes. I'll do something like a fucking Pikachu, and I'll get like 200, 300. And
Nice.
I'm like, really? On a fucking Pikachu? You know? but
that's how it is.
But I mean,
you put your heart and soul into one piece, and then you post it, and it does well. It does well. Don't get me wrong, it does well. But if you just start sketching something and take a picture of it from a distance, so you see all the stuff, materials you used, and everything like that, I'll be damned if that picture doesn't double in likes from the one that you worked so hard on.
Like, for example, this one, I'm almost at 200. You know, I'm like 25 away from 200 likes. I hate this fucking picture. You know what I mean?
Ralph looks good. Who is that? The Red Ranger?
Yeah.
You got to forgive me, man. My color blindness, I kind of suck some red and green. But the only reason I knew it was Ralph was because of the size. Okay, what's wrong with that one? I kind of dig it.
I hate it, man. I think one, the Ranger needs more of a neck. You know.
Okay.
I think he looks like he has his chest way too.
Well, yeah, he has to. He's next to a turtle.
You know.
I know that fucking looks good, dude.
But it goes back to you. You know, it's like, I hate it, man. But fucking people love this shit. I can't. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I'll do just a random piece, and I can't, for the love of me, I'm looking around for something that's just random, but I'll do one of those randoms, and it surprises the hell out of me. Oh, that's what it was. I did I don't remember what the drawing was that did so poorly, but I worked really hard on it. And then, like, the next night, I did like a 30-minute sketch of Iron Man. Okay, just pencil. I paused. I think I paused Iron Man just real quick. It turns out it looked more like War Machine than it did Iron Man, which was cool. And I just went with that. But that damn thing was the first picture I posted on Instagram that got 100 likes. Okay, this is back a long time ago. And that's when I realized, okay, it's either the time of day that you post, or it's just because somebody sees something that they could actually draw themselves. Okay, because it's a nice and simple sketch. It was just the helmet, basically. So if you look at it, you could actually sketch it out yourself. And I think because it actually, for other artists, it looks a little easier to draw, practicing and everything, they actually dig it a lot more. If it's something like the Pennywise, there's so much detail and everything. Somebody might try to draw that, but it's going to be difficult because they didn't have the the iPad like I did. They could probably put it up on the iPad and go from there, but it's funny. I always try to explain why those little small sketches do better than the actual paintings. And I don't understand it, but it's just something that is weird about Instagram.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, for me, it's like I draw something badass, and then I draw something as simple as, like I said, a fucking Pokemon. And the Pokemon, and I think that happens, honestly, I think it's just fan base, a lot more people I would say, love Pokemon than they do an X Ranger, or a certain Ranger, or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So, it's fucking Instagram, man. It's weird like that.
Yeah, but you know what? I love Instagram, dude. I don't know what it is. You know, I would like to. I'd like to get more of the social media places, or I mean, most social media. Just what is it? All the other networks that you could get a hold of that could work for art.
Mm.
But Instagram's the one that I've just found it so easy. Once I learned everything, I just stick with it. I thought I was onto something because I was starting to get. Instagram likes to change their algorithm.
Oh,
you know, when your post is actually seen by others. And a while back, when they were using the old algorithm, you know, each one of my drawings, each one would beat the previous. Okay, so the likes just increased and increased and increased. That's why you see that I have a certain amount of followers, because it used to be great. Instagram used to be great. Now the algorithm, you might get like 100 likes or anything like that. But I already told you I don't really care for the likes. It's more like I want the profile visits. I got a feeling that's where the fun becomes. You know, if you get the profile visits, people will see the other stuff, not just the one drawing that they're liking at the time. So that's what I'm going for. I always go for the profile pics. Eventually, I will be happy with that Pennywise, and I'll post it again, and it'll be bigger on my wall, so everybody gets to see it again.
Yeah. Also, don't forget to use hashtags, man. Hashtags are number one fan, number one helper here. So
when I post that finished Godzilla, it's going to be a big one on that Instagram post. I'm not even going to worry about posting the individual. I might post the individual picture with each little square, but I kind of like not being able to see it until they go to my page. You know, it's just you get likes, and it's just acknowledgement. That's from other artists. That's really all it is. I mean, I'll hit likes on all the ones that I see that it's artwork. You know, if I see an advertisement, I'm not gonna like the advertisement. I'm just gonna like the artist, the ones that I know I follow.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not studying them. I just hit the like button. I just give them no power. Yeah. But it's weird, man. Especially nowadays, it's all you can is artwork and post. And I try to post something every day, but it gets kind of difficult sometimes. And it drives me nuts if I can't post something some days. I'm like, I gotta just get something that I've already reposted. Give me an old picture and I'll post that. Know your artist day or something like that. I just try to keep it active.
Jetman, just so you know, we're at about a minute and 30 seconds left.
Okay.
So this fucking interview flew by, man.
That was my point, to entertain you. Okay, I wanted to entertain you, to laugh. You know, I want Shane's book to do really well. He's a great guy, and I actually think he's onto something. You know, you don't get a lot of the shows like Andy Griffith, and the book is made to be bigger. He wrote it in a way that there's a universe here. Whilst we're just opening it up a little bit, and we get it going or getting the ball rolling down the hill, it's going to be huge. He's got a lot of characters here that are really great. He's got a deputy named Jethro that is just fabulous. He's got Farmer's Cat.
Where can we find this? We got about 20 seconds left. Where can we find it?
You can get it at Amazon. It's Sheriff Sanders, The Twister of Doom, Sheriff Sanders, and the Cornstalking Crows. His titles are so long. Sheriff Sanders and the Curse of the Vampire Duck on Amazon, and I believe he said that Kindle has it available now.
Cool. And that's it, guys. Stay tuned for the next one. Jay Strong, go follow.